What's going on, everybody? Brandon Schaefer here. Thank you for joining me. Let's get into some of my older work, some of my first acrylic paintings. Here's one of my first. This was my very first acrylic painting that I ever did. So check that out. It's a 14 by 18. Kind of a weird size, right? I mean, look at this big black window, big black container there. You know, this was for a college class, and I pretty much, the night before it was due, I was just rushing, putting in some details, just like throwing this crap together. But yeah, not a bad overall effort, not bad for a very first painting. I was doing it from a photo reference, so that's what it was. It's just funny to see all the details and stuff in here. Like, I didn't know how to paint trees or paint anything. You know, these flat walls and stuff, probably the door is the best thing in there. But anyway, yeah. This is where I came from, man. This was my very first one ever. Here's one of my first plein air paintings. This was at Lavender Fields. I actually filmed, this was very old videos on YouTube. I actually filmed me going to this place. I kind of just filmed a little bit, not me painting this, but I just filmed while I was there. So you can see kind of how the plein air adventures have evolved over the years. So maybe I'll put a clip of that video right now. Check out. It's my third one today. Try the ones again. But if you want, maybe I'll link the video down below. You can go watch the whole thing. If you dare to. Kind of embarrassing to watch nowadays, but yeah, acrylics, plein air. Let's get into some of my watercolors. Now, these were, before I ever tried acrylic or anything, this is what I did first. I did watercolors, and these are matted. And I used photo references. I didn't even understand how photo references worked, so I used photo references that, like, you know, copyrights and all this stuff. I didn't really pay attention to any of that stuff back then. Like that, I mean. Really simple, but pretty cool. You can notice a lot of trees and stuff going on, so I definitely liked trees. So let's go through these really quickly. I only have a few more here. You know, it's pretty good. There's some good elements in here, like, you know, the sky and stuff, really nice. Nice road here, pathway. But, you know, just really simple stuff. This one's one of my favorites. I called it Four of a Kind. But a lot of nice color and stuff, but really high key. And that's one thing I didn't like about watercolors, is like I never got dark enough. Although, and here's one where I did get dark enough. This was one of my very first watercolors ever. And you can see that here, like I kept trying to get darker and I kept actually lifting up the paint. Like I just didn't know what I was doing, but from far away it doesn't look bad. If I framed that or something, it wouldn't look that bad. It's from a photograph that I took. Here's another watercolor here. Another from a photograph that I took. Yet another watercolor. I was experimenting. From far away it looks pretty nice. It's more of an impressionistic scene. I was kind of going for like a Monet type of painting, impressionist, and I had no idea what I was doing. So up close it's just the same type of brush strokes over and over, but I kind of just used color and value to kind of create this very bright scene. It's actually the ocean, the coastline, but not bad, pretty cool. Here's one that got damaged, me shipping it. The glass broke on it, so it's kind of some damage to it, but this is one I did. It was called Portrait of Death, and it's kind of in the style of Yoshitaka Amano. He does like concept art for video games, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. I was really into that a few years ago, and this is kind of like his style of painting and stuff. So, but that was one of my favorites that I did. Anyway, not much else here. I have another one of my very first acrylic paintings. You guys are gonna laugh at this one. Little lollipop tree there. Got some nice texture. There's some nice texture on it. But yet again, painting from my mind, you know, and just no idea about colors, no idea about creating depth or anything. Just, you know, looks like a pretty amateurish painting, but it was just me testing stuff out. It's not even on canvas, it's actually on an Arches illustration board. So it's this flimsy kind of cardboard type of thing that you use for watercolor, or you can use for watercolor. And I used acrylics on it. It worked. This isn't old, but this is kind of a cool thing I did. In one of my last college classes, I had to take a painting class, and this was in 2013, so I'd been painting for a few years. And we had to paint this on like some kind of plexiglass, but it was a reverse painting. You had to paint the lights first, and then layer on the darks and darks. So it was kind of a reverse painting. Pretty cool though. Also, just another assignment from that class. This was one of the first. Did this with acrylics. I did a monochrome of it, and then you had to do a color of it. And I did this in the class in like under an hour, and everybody was like, oh my God, how do you do that? I think I was the only guy in the class. It was a class full of women. There was probably 10 other women and young women, and it was just me painting, and I kind of already knew how to paint. And I had to take this class just to get 1 or 2 stupid credits that I needed to graduate. I had to take it over the summer. It was kind of annoying. I did this is one last thing. I was cleaning out my closet actually, and I found all this stuff sitting up in the top, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna look through all this stuff. And this is stuff I hadn't looked at in years. This was a graphic design project I did in typography class. We had to do a self-portrait consisting only of letters and words. So I created my self-portrait, and then the second thing I did was have all these kind of negative words raining down on me. And you know, the instructor was kind of like, well, that's kind of negative, you know, how are you gonna like kind of change it around to be more, you know, it's not, you know, how can you finish it? And you know, I had to think about it for a few days. I went home and worked on it, and then I came back to the class with this. I had this little bubble of peace, truth, love, optimism, hope, and it just repeats, kind of this bubble protecting me from all this negativity, deception, lies, hatred, war, immorality, all this stuff raining down on me, and this kind of bubble of positive words protecting me. And I ended up having, we did kind of a critique. We said everybody's up on the board, and I ended up having one of the best in the class, basically the best in the class. Real small class, like 8 people. And I had the best one, so I was really proud of that, man. It was really cool graphic design project with typography. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, seeing some older pieces of mine and just seeing where I came from, and just showing you, you know, I didn't come out the womb just painting stuff that I do now, or drawing as well as I did. It's stuff that I've worked on for years, and I come home from work, I work on stuff, I do this stuff. You know, looking at my older videos, the plein air video, you know, it's always just every year I'm just trying to make it better and better. Plein air season 2, I'm gonna work on it this summer, make it as best I can. It's gonna be epic, I hope. I'm gonna travel to some redwood forests and stuff. Boom, sneak peek there. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Keep on painting, don't get discouraged, or keep on drawing, don't get discouraged. Take care of yourself. Peace.